Ni hao, it's just Stephanie. We just Stephanie. Whatever. What do you do after you do an apartment tour of your behind the scenes of a YouTube channel and you skip the bedroom because you wanted some privacy? You film on the actual bed. That's what I'm doing now. Ta-da! Okay, and yes, you did see my goofy pajamas. It's just gonna happen, so why even fight it? I think they've shown up in a few videos, I just haven't actually paid attention to it. I have 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, so we're gonna talk flashcards, because I've been talking about this thing that I'm doing, this matching activity that I'm doing, but I keep using my other phone, which shows you things in the opposite direction that they actually need to appear. Like this one actually, Dansha, shows up correctly on the phone that I'm using now, but my other phone reverses things. Bah! Okay, so what I do is I have 3 different packs right now in level 1 in my Lightner box. I'm super excited. Where am I? Out of 64 days, I started on March 21st and I'm on day 49. Holy cow, finally. Persistence pays off. So I have 3 packs of about 10 cards each. I have the cards like the Dansha, the Butter, however one that I showed you. Those are on the regular, like long-term cards that I'm going to use as they go up the different levels of the Lightner box. The ones I'm doing this particular activity with are just level 1 because I had a lot to get through that I wanted to get very, very familiar with before my HSK test in 1 week. Actually, in 1 week's time, I will be falling apart after having taken the test. Temporary cards are this one. I think I showed this to you in the last video. They're just literally A4 pieces of printer paper that I have torn into little squares. So I just have the opinion, the verb tense, the number from the list that I have, because I like numbering things, and the English. And I literally just put, and I'll show you in a second, I spread it out. I usually have a big area where I put the cards on one, the regular cards on one side and the meaning and opinion cards on the other. And I will turn this around and show you what I'm talking about here. So here are the regular cards that will stay with the Lightner box as it moves up from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and whatever. And here are the opinion and definition cards. And I literally, what I do actually is, before I even spread them out, I skipped a step. I look at the cards because how I was studying before is that I would just look at a card, and if I remember both the opinion and the meaning, then it went up to level 2. So I still want to keep that. So before I look at any of the definitions, I look at the cards and I pick out the ones that I actually can remember. And I don't remember any of these. Again, right now I have about 3 decks of this. I started with 50, I think about a week ago with this method, and I'm down to 30. So it's working. They're getting up in the levels faster than they were before this. Again, I'm going for, because I lagged in vocabulary from HSK1 to HSK2, I'm going for familiarity more than deep penetrative learning. I will come back to these after the HSK2 test and solidify them with context and with constantly doing the rest of the Lightner box and with the workbook that I have. So once I look at them and I decide there aren't any that I recognize off the bat, then they're definitely staying in level 1. Then I do the matching activity. So I'll take, for example, one of them. No, I should take one that I somewhat know. I'll just take the one I just showed you. I'll take Dansha and I'll go, oh, I recognize that one. That one's this one. And I'll check, does that match? 18, 18, the opinion's the same, the meaning's the same. And then I'll put them on the side. And I will do that activity until all of them are done. And that's it. And then I do it for the second pack, and then I do it for the third pack. Now what happens is that when I match, when I can recognize them without this kind of like crutch matching one, that's when it goes up to level 2 and it goes into the regular Lightner box that I've been talking about before. This is a new step I was doing, again, because of my bad time management for scheduling the HSK2 test too soon. However, this is an activity that we used to do with our students teaching language all the time. We would always spend a lot of time pre-teaching vocabulary before getting to any of the exercises in the book or any of the activities that we have planned for that day, because vocabulary is what stops a lot of people from being able to use the grammar point that you're talking about, the conversations that you're practicing, or any of that other stuff. You really need vocabulary. I'm out of time. 再见.